Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your March 2020 reading. It's great to see everybody. I brought Apollo here to send everybody some love. It's a great way to begin every reading. I was looking at some of the chat. I know that many of you are looking forward to some good news, looking forward to some healing. And part of the messages for today were really around clearing, cleansing, and releasing. And we'll talk about that in a moment. I'd like to get started by introducing myself, welcoming everyone properly. So let's do that first and foremost. My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh, and I come here every month to really help you see a roadmap of opportunities and possibilities. And we'll get into that in a second. I'm going to talk about the format. I'd like to also welcome my moderators, Maria and Ryan, who help keep everything organized while I'm talking. So thank you guys for helping me out. Just a little bit about how everything is formatted today. The way that I organize these readings is so that you can use them for your sun, your rising, and your moon. You can also watch on behalf of someone in your life that you love. And if you don't happen to know all those different parts of your chart, then just stick with your birth sign, and that's going to give you all the guidance that you need. I really believe in the power of free will. So part of the reason that I do these a little early is to also give you time to plan, to adjust, to really make your life the best life possible. It's all about choices. And I was reading in chat earlier that some of you have been going through some challenges. Well, you came at the right time because really I think about here and what's ahead. The past really forms who we are and gives us sort of like character and context, but it's all about choices, and that's what today is going to bring. The way that I organize the forecast is it's about 4 major parts. I start with some channeled information at the beginning, and this is raw psychic intuition that comes to me as I'm meditating right beforehand. You see me popping in and out of chat about an hour before, and that's the message that's coming through. The second piece of the forecast is traditional. I use a Celtic Cross, and that really helps highlight anything that could be a challenge and also anything that might be a great opportunity and give you some balance between the two. I then expand the forecast because I know a lot of you really care about distinct areas of your life, such as health, wealth, love, and destiny. So we look at those 4 things at that point. And then I go into something that's new. I'll review what we just talked about, and then I go into a healing sort of area, which I'm calling like soul work or the soul's journey. And this is where we start to look at something that we can do to really shift us for the whole year. But we'll be working on messages from the month, things that I've also picked up in my meditation. And it's a really powerful part. So I hope you stick around until the end because that's some of my sort of yoga teacher training coming through. I try to pull through energy to heal you. So it's a free little pick-me-up that I hope you guys enjoy. In addition to all of this, I just want to say thank you for showing up. I'm always humbled by the fact that there's people from all across the world that are coming in and making time today. So thank you and welcome. I want to say it now because once I get started, I have to focus and just allow the energy to channel. So thank you all for coming through. I see we have some new members today. Thank you for becoming, clicking that join button and becoming a contributing member. That really means a lot. If you want to say thanks and just give me a high five while I'm doing the reading, you can use something called Super Chat. The super sticker feature is actually even better because I'm not going to have a chance to read everything, but there's a little icon here. You can click this, and from there you'll see like Super Chat and Super Stickers. And if you want to do that, just know that it helps me continue to buy cards and set up all the time and energy that's necessary for this. So I want to say thanks. I don't do pick a card, and I'm not going to answer questions while I read because a lot of folks are watching this on replay, and I really want to keep it fluid. But I'll say hi at the beginning and a little bit at the end. And for anyone that does contribute, I will call you out in the sort of comments area after everything's been posted. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. By the way, at the very end, we'll talk a little bit more. One of the biggest questions I get is, can you book an appointment with me? Yes, you can. You can go to my website for that information. You can also become a patron and join me on social media. My moderators are going to post those links in chat. I'll talk about them at the end, and I'll pick up some pieces of paper that will tell you where to find me on all of those different places. But for here and for now, I'd just like to welcome everyone, and let's get started. There's so much that's coming through for you today that I want to talk about the channeled message now. So as I was selecting a deck of cards and meditating, this is what I started to pick up on. And the first thing was just this feeling of things starting to clear in my mind and in my body. And partly because I also, here in LA, it's raining. We don't get a lot of rain, but what I was picking up on in the meditation was actually the scent of ozone. And there's a word called petrichor, which means basically that smell that you pick up on when it's the earth, when it's the ozone, when it's kind of that fresh rain smell. There's a fancy word that kind of encompasses all of that. And I got this feeling that there was going to be this really great clearing. And in my mind's eye, what I saw was a rainbow. And I felt that there was a blessing after a period for some of you of struggle or of kind of being in that Eight of Swords moment where you're not sure what's coming through, but that it could be better than it has been and better than you expected it to be. And if we also combine another card in tarot, like the Four of Cups, there's an opportunity around you. And when you start to open up to seeing new things, to thinking this can get better, this will get better, it starts to get better. So the first piece that I wrote down in channeled writing was to clear, to cleanse, and in doing so, to have that reveal moment that you often see in the Four of Cups. When the person, you never see it, but it would be where the person looks and it's like, oh my gosh, this is something that I've been missing. And then I also saw a rainbow, and I'm going to put this into the meditation as well. And what I wrote here was that there'd be a hidden treasure or blessing after a struggle or a period of difficulty. So clear, cleanse, reveal, and then you get that rainbow moment for you, whatever that might be. Beautiful message, and I could really smell that sort of clean scent that you have after walking out in the rain, and it was just beautiful. And I thought, there's something better around the corner. So for you, March 2020 is opening up those opportunities. Since many of you are here today, starting a little bit early, I can help you on that journey so you can really embrace it in March, so you're not kind of feeling the struggle anymore, okay? So at this point, what I'd like to do is take the cards, lay them out on the table, full Celtic Cross, expanded forecast. I'll put all of this down. Just be patient while I do this. I like to remain quiet so that I can observe all of the cards, receive some additional messages, but afterwards I'm going to pull the camera up. We're going to go through everything and take a nice deep dive into the month ahead, okay? Thanks so much. So appropriate that we've got the full moon for you. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, everyone, thank you so much for being patient as I got everything organized here. Some beautiful messages coming through for you as well here. The first one is really to be true to yourself here. And I want to talk about how the catalyst functions, and then we'll look at the card here. For me, the catalyst is a way to avoid any of the pitfalls that might be coming through, to stay in a high frequency, to really like live your best life. And that's why we're here. So the message here was really about being truthful with yourself. And I'm going to read the text underneath. It's a little hard to see. It says, I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So I think that what many of you are starting to do is to really be honest and realistic with what's going on in your life. There may have been something where it was easy to sometimes, like we can just push it under the rug or think maybe it'll be better tomorrow, or I don't need to pay attention to this. And I think this month, you'll sort of be walking through that moment. In my meditation, I saw rain and then I saw the light, the rainbow afterwards. We have to go through the rain moment first to get to the light, to get to that hidden blessing. And so for some of you, you're going to walk through it. It might be a little bit difficult. And I saw some of the change here, like with the Tower and Judgment, but it's worth it. And your sign, I'm so happy I'm reading for you today. And we've got this as your outcome. The moon is good. This is a full moon. This is completion. That's what this is about. And today, what a powerful day we can work on releasing. You don't really want to start something brand new on a full moon. A new moon, yes, but a full moon, not so much. I'm going to help you today release things, clear things, so that what's left of this month and definitely all of March is going to be open so that you can really maximize the potential, because there's a lot of power. For some of you, even a Kundalini awakening that might be happening. So we really want to set you up so that whatever intuition, whatever opportunities present themselves, you're prepared, you're ready. But part of that is getting real with yourself and getting real with others. So we're going to talk about that now. I like at the center that we have the Page of Cups. This is a good card for you. Anything water-based is really good. But this page is about, again, communication. Pages deliver and they also receive messages. And this shows me that your heart space is open, that you're pretty balanced because the card is upright. And it's also showing that the focus this month for you is on clearing and strengthening relationships. So if anything isn't working out the way that it should be when it comes to friends or coworkers or loved ones, this is the time to really clear, to mend, to get that out in the open. And interestingly enough, I was talking about the Four of Cups in the meditation, and that's what I got, was the Four of Cups here. So there could be something that you're going to help someone else see, or you might even learn something about yourself. I was talking to a friend of mine at lunch the other day who's a musician, and one of the things I'm always curious is, like, when you write a song or when you're doing an album, like, do you learn something about yourself? And I think that all of us, as we go through different parts of our life, whether we're in the act of creation, which, by the way, can be part of the Page of Cups, or we're just kind of going through the emotions, that rainstorm that I was kind of seeing that some of you might have just experienced or might be experiencing, you learn something. And that's really what it's about. If you could look at this as a chance to go deeper in your soul, to reveal something, maybe that you're stronger than you thought, maybe that someone that is in your life doesn't need to be there anymore, etc., then I would say this is a blessing. So expect something really great to transform and happen this month, and don't worry about it falling away if that's happening. Because I see development being the big purpose here. First, you're going to clear the relationships. Then you're going to decide to maybe do something for yourself, because this was in the environment. We'll talk more about the Eight of Pentacles when I get to it. But let's start with more relationship energy here. For many of you, January, even December, might have been a month where you were spending a lot of time and energy on others, because we have the Lovers in the deep past. You may have fallen in or out of love. You might have also been just kind of in a very attractive energy state where, with the Lovers, if you're like single and happy or just business oriented at the moment, maybe not putting energy into even an existing relationship, what the Lovers shows is a lot of people are like knocking on the door, wanting your time. They're interested in you, and you can use that kind of attractive energy in any way. But because of that, sometimes you feel the need to kind of pull back, because it can be a lot. Someone was talking earlier about the spotlight, because I said showtime in a few minutes. I feel like some of you might be feeling like that spotlight, it's a lot, right? It reveals everything. It can be a little bit, you can feel a little vulnerable, right, in the spotlight. So some of you might be needing to pull back and take care of yourself a little bit this month, and that's okay, because what we see here in recent past, which is really affecting the here and the now, since you're tuning in a little bit early, is the Two of Pentacles, which is work-life balance, which is deciding to spend your time and energy a little bit more wisely. You have another money card, the Eight of Pentacles, which is showing the reality of it. There's some stuff that's really worth your time and energy, but there's a couple things that aren't. You put the two together and you have 10, right? 8, 9, 10. So I feel like there's a couple of things that you don't need to spend as much energy on. And it could be people, it could be something at work, it could just be something that's distracting you. And there's a decision this month, enough is enough. I'm going to walk away from that. And we'll talk more in a second, because we have two cards that show a decision to sort of rebuild and let go. First, I want to talk about the High Priestess here. One of my favorite cards, but she's reversed. The High Priestess, of course, is your connection to the divine, to your own psychic intuition. And this often comes through personally for you when you're thinking, I should have listened to myself. I knew better. And so since you're watching this in advance of things happening, my message to you is to really honor how you feel, what you're thinking, what the first sort of intuition is when you connect with someone or something. That's probably the strongest. And a lot of times we try to talk ourselves out of it, right? We sometimes know something has to happen, but we suspend, we like, it's kind of like you're in a moment of disbelief. You're thinking, if I just wait, if I work hard enough, maybe it can change. Let's get back to the catalyst, which is about really being honest with yourself. So there's something that needs to happen this month. You're going to clear it, cleanse it, reveal the truth, and get to something better. Because I think at a certain point, if you've invested a lot of time and energy in it and you haven't seen a shift, for me, I believe in God, the divine, your intuition. It works in multiple levels. A lot of times it's that subtle thing, like, are you just hitting your head against the wall and not seeing any progress? If that's happening, it's time to let it go. We have two cards here, one in the near future and one in the possibility space, that show it's okay to do this. So we have a Tower moment, but it's reversed. And then we have a Justice moment here, which is also about choice, balancing, making a decision that's right, doing what's right. So for some of you, whatever you're currently experiencing, this could be where you live, this could be a job, this could be a relationship. You've outgrown it. It's not giving you the stability that you need. And a Tower is about really taking a chance to clear the foundation. When it's reversed, you have a more active role. When the Tower is upright, it's a surprise. And it's like, oh, how am I going to deal with this? But the reversal says, like I said, you know what to do. The question is, are you going to turn this card upright and say, yes, I'm going to deal with it? Or are you going to wait for the universe to kind of push you into decision? You don't want to wait for the latter, because being pushed into a Tower moment can be sort of like when you get a pink slip, or when someone just falls away and moves away, does something without any sort of kind of connection or chance for you to help with that. Take an active role in the changes in your life. You're going to feel your own power as you do that. When you decide if you want to leave a job and it's not working out, do it on your own volition. Find a new one, leave it, have a nice clean record. That's a good thing. If it's a relationship, the same thing. You can be the one that makes the decision to either say, hey, we need to go talk to someone and get help, or I need to move on for my own happiness and sanity, etc. This Tower came through so that you can let go of something that's not allowing you to build, not allowing you to be more than. And as you step away from it, you're going to feel that sense of relief. So it's okay. It takes a little bit of courage, right? The only thing that's missing, we'll see if it comes through when I look at the healing meditation. It would have been great to see like the Strength card or the Fool card, because it feels like you need to take that leap of faith and you need to feel that inner strength. So hopefully I can help you find that as we look at this reading here. When I'm looking at your ego, which is kind of your compass for how you're feeling, how you're working, what your desires are, even on some levels, we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. So knights take action, but the suit of wands can be a very cognitive suit. And when it's reversed, it can be about limiting the possibilities on the horizon and delaying because you're not listening to yourself, as we saw with the High Priestess in reverse. So don't overthink, and be open to new and unusual ways for things to happen this month. So if you're looking for a solution, or if you're looking for love, or if you're looking for anything, don't always try the same path or look in the same place. The Four of Cups is an element of surprise. It means you've been overlooking something that could be better, that might be obvious to others, but not yourself. So it's a really important month for meditation, for writing, for kind of getting out of your head a little bit and seeing from a bird's eye perspective, because you're going to pick up on something when you do that. And I'm saying writing because we also have the Eight of Pentacles in your environment. This shows me, first and foremost, that whatever you decide to invest in, you should see the needle move forward. You should see progress. This is a great card for acquiring knowledge, for growing, for seeing a return on your energetic investment, whatever that energy could be, whether it's time, whether it's love, whether it's literally money. This is a good time to invest wisely in the things that you love. And for those of you that are considering training, this can show like going back to school, getting a GED, getting a certification, learning something just for the heck of it. Maybe you're retired and you've decided to do something because now you have the time, the energy, and the resources to do it, and you love it. Whatever it is, I would say that passion is going to help you. I hope you're doing something because you care about it. But whatever you decide to invest in, you'll see some sort of return. So if you spend some money, get some certification, you should see that come back in your job in a different, or you should just feel this sense of expansion, and you're going to do a better job because you feel better about yourself. So my message here is, as you decide to let some things go, as you maybe walk away from something, you're making room now for development. And the cognitive side of you, instead of overthinking stuff, dig deeply into something that matters. Put your mind on something else. Don't kind of get into a 7 of Cups moment where you're suddenly kind of like thinking yourself into a rabbit hole. It's not a place that you want to go or be. For writers, or for anyone that is like a musician and a composer, 8 of Pentacles is perfect. Also good if you work with your hands and you kind of create things. So an architect or a sculptor, anyone that's kind of like doing anything hands-on, it's great. Even if you're not an artist, do it anyway. Think of kids back in like preschool when they're finger painting, how fun it is. I want you to somehow get your channel open, use your hands to kind of pull the energy through your body. It's gonna help. So do something hands-on this month. Home improvement, gardening. It's not always good for Northern Hemisphere because we're in winter, but maybe Southern Hemisphere might be better. Or you can kind of do something, like I said, that's kind of clearing and cleaning, like the house. It's a good time to take things to Goodwill, for instance. All right, let's get to Justice. This card is, okay, a lot of times people get confused between judgment and justice. This is when you're still weighing the decision. That's why we're talking about all of these possibilities. And I feel like you're going to get to the point where you figure out what works for you. The card wasn't reversed, so it tells me that it's a little difficult for some of you to get there. Reverse usually means I know what I want to do, I want to walk away from it. This means you're still trying to really figure out from both sides what's right. And I like upward or upright justice. I would say don't spend too much time trying to be overly empathetic, because as we saw with the honesty card, you already kind of know. And really, if you're not getting some sort of feedback or return, the feedback loop is broken, and it's just you giving. And that is a clear and present sign that it's time to move on. You know, the Tower, Justice, and the Lovers, they're in a diagonal here. I'm going to pull the camera down for a second. So we have Lovers in the past, near future, the Tower, possibilities, Justice, and the Moon being a chance to kind of work through all of those hopes and fears. Some of you may be in a moment of either taking something to the next level, or potentially there's a relationship that's kind of in crisis. This is a chance for you to decide, we're going to fix it or we're going to leave it. And I think any part of your life, this could also be something that you think about. If we look at a house, sometimes with a house or a car, after a certain amount of years, if the repair costs or the renovation costs basically outweigh what you have in your bank or what you think you might get when you're going to sell it, or buy the next sort of big purchase, it's a clear choice. It's time to let it go, let that investment go. So whether it's something tangible and physical or something that's sort of intangible, like a relationship or a place that you're working, I think some of you, kind of like when we're a kid and we have a t-shirt, we love it, but we've outgrown it and it looks ridiculous. It's 2 sizes too small, you know, there's holes and things. It's time to kind of toss that into the bin and say, I'm now ready to move on to the next thing. You're shedding a skin. And that's what we kind of see here. And I'm getting ahead of myself, but I think that you're ready to shed a skin or shed an experience so that you can expand. So it's a good thing. It's not easy to go through that, but it's all right, because justice is showing the balance that you need, and you deserve that. And again, once you do that, growth, expansion, development, these are good things. Okay, so I'm excited about this for you, even though it might be difficult to go through that. And as someone who, like I've talked about in my recent Q&A video, when you quit a job or a career path, like I was working in my career for 15 years and I decided to take a really big right turn and do what I'm doing now, it's tough. So whether you're getting a divorce, leaving a career path, or starting something brand new, or moving across the world, these are big shifts, they're big changes, and the Tower can be that. The Tower, it's a big moment. For some of you, even with Justice in the Tower, it can be, you know, someone that's leaving, either like leaving you, or maybe they've passed on and they're transitioning into spirit. And it's hard, because to me, the Tower is like birth, death, graduation, moving, big decisions in your life that change the way that you feel. So give yourself time to move through this. Today's healing meditation will help with that as well. So don't despair. There's some great things coming through. some of you are having a big intuitive awakening this month, and possibly even as we're going through this full moon here, because I have to highlight a few cards here. We have the High Priestess, we have the Moon. These are two of the most intuitive cards in the deck. And then as we look at the expanded forecast here, we have the Crown Chakra here in health. And then I keep looking at this, the Destiny card, and look at the Crown Chakra here. It's also open. So we have 2 tarot cards showing intuitive awakenings. And then we also have many cards here in the expanded forecast, plus a Tower, which can show a shift. So this month, if you need to heal or change or get on a better route, yeah, it's happening. And look, if money or personal fulfillment or satisfaction has been missing, you have the power to change it. You can, you will. You've got to make those shifts, but once you do, it feels good. So basically, I'm going to try to focus on getting you through the rain to the rainbow. That's what the meditation will be about in a few minutes here. All right, let's get back to your health portion, which is mind, body, and spirit. It's multi-part. This, of course, is much more on the spirit end. We have the Crown Chakra, very top here. And it's usually, you can kind of see it in the illustration here. It's often shown as a lotus petal because it's got all these points of light that's kind of open to the divine. And one thing that I've started to see over the past year, if I meditate in a dark room, I can see the energy points on my body. And it's almost as if we have constellation points, all these little points of light. There's so many on the Crown Chakra. And for you this month, I want you to focus on receiving rather than getting into your head too much. Because the fact that all of the receiving cards have been reversed for you is saying that you're getting some intuition, you're getting some signs and symbols, but for some reason, either because of disbelief, for some of you fear, or a lack of readiness, there's a block there. So when you start to meditate, first of all, set some boundaries and say, I would like to connect with love, with light, and with the highest power, the divine, with God. This and this alone is what I seek in this meditation. Open me to the highest energy in the universe. Once you've done that, you're safe. You're not going to connect with lower frequencies. See an orb of light around you, connect with God, call on the divine, whatever your name for that is, and know that as you and the divine are communicating, that's it. That's your one-on-one with the highest power. And it can connect with you, and it will find the right vehicle to kind of make that happen. You have a chance this month to really open your mind. Now, if you're a little bit more practical and thinking, Nicholas, talk to me about something that I can understand. This is what we're seeing in the 8 of Pentacles, going back to school, learning. Crown Chakra, it's your head. So this is a chance for you to do things that make you happy and open up your mind. This card is about keeping an open mind. If you're in a relationship and you're trying to figure out, should I stay, should I go? Listen more than speaking. Something I've said before. If you're afraid of doing something, talk to someone. The Moon card is fear-based. It's coming through, though. It's gentle. Look at that nice face in the moon. It's coming through to help us see the illusions so that we can overcome them. But it's scary to see the mirror, the truth, the true mirror. I've talked about, there are 2 movies actually that I'm going to reference. I think Harry Potter had one where he was looking in the mirror and you could see something like your greatest hope, your greatest fear. There was another one in The Never-Ending Story, which is better. It's a great kids movie from the 80s. But there's a moment when Atreyu looks into this cosmic mirror, one of the oracles, and he sees Sebastian on the other side. So he sees his true self, and they both freak out. And so this moment, there's a revelation coming through where you think you are one way, but you actually learn something true about yourself. That's the Crown Chakra awakening. It's an understanding that I know how I tick, or I know what I need to work on. So it's scary sometimes when we see a part of ourselves that we didn't know existed, or we don't like. So if you don't like it, you get to work on it. If it's something that's new and scary, find some help. Find a way to really embrace that. And yeah, don't be afraid. It's an important shift that has to happen. Talking about some other things with respect to health, because I like to look at the cards as well. I think that there are 2 things here that I want to talk about. If you're having any issues with vertigo or balance, you'll notice here we almost have, is it called Trikonasana, but the tree pose here, which is showing me really to focus on making sure that both feet are steady, that you're grounded. And this card, which shows a lack of grounding. In meditation, it's going to be really important for you to use like a grounding crystal, a darker colored crystal, to pull you down so that you can actually go out further. In everyday life, it's important to watch where you're walking. Because we're still in winter in the northern hemisphere, you want to look for like black ice. That's what this could be, invisible ice, a sheet of that, or something where you slip and fall. Be very present. Don't hold up a phone to your face and not look at where you're walking, because you could accidentally slip and fall. Those two cards are showing me balance are really important. If you're experiencing any lack of balance, go to the doctor, because there's a lot of different symptoms, from low blood pressure to having crystals in your inner ear. Whatever it is, talk to a doctor, get a feel for what that is. It's important. Also, we're looking at balance of protein in your diet. So if you're someone who has a restricted diet or allergies, or you've just been not taking care of yourself, really focus on making sure you have enough protein. That could also be feeding into the dizziness. All right. Standard disclaimers apply. I'm not a doctor, but these are things that I'm picking up on. And a lot of times with the balance and kind of being present, there is something to pay attention to there. But by the way, with the moon card, this also has to do with moon cycles. Basically, if you're having an irregular period, or if you're having difficulty in conceiving, this is also something that has to do with your stress in your life, because as we see here, work-life balance could be playing a big part in that. Talk to your OBGYN, etc. All right, let's now take a look at wealth. Just as we saw with health, it's not literally about money or career always. It can sometimes be about what's going on inside or energetically. So with career and wealth and basically abundance opportunities, it says vacuum away fear, which is what we're going to do in the meditation. So stick around until the last portion, and I'll help you with that. And I work with 3 angels before each and every reading, by the way. I was telling a family member about this. I work with Michael, Raphael, and also Gabriel. 2 of them are referenced here. And it says, call upon Michael and Raphael to lift up fear-based energy from you, your surroundings, your situation, everyone involved. Just so you know what these angels can do: Michael, protection; Raphael, healing; Gabriel, communication. Be open to the fact that they may be called other things in other religions. They are ancient beings, so maybe you're going to call Michael like Shiva or something like that. It doesn't mean it's not the same sort of energy. So if you have a deity within your kind of religion that helps and you want to work with it, go for it. But basically, don't be afraid to call on, like Ganesha would be great for clearing fear and obstacles, for instance. That's one that I work with a lot. I love elephants. They're sacred. They're wonderful kind of symbols of also prosperity and opportunity. So with the fear, let's take a look at it. What's triggering the fear? Are you afraid of growth, success? Are you afraid of talking to someone about something that bothers you? This is a really common thing. If you see someone misbehaving, or if you're not feeling that you're being treated correctly, and maybe, by the way, this is legitimate with justice, there could be a case for some of you. And the 8 of Pentacles is, by the way, a documentation card. So if you're in a position in your life where someone is doing something illegal, unjust, unfair, document, get some assistance for that, and basically do what you need to do to bring that to light. And that's what the moon is about. It's actually about illumination and pushing through that. But the fear could also just be, I'm afraid to take that first step. And I mentioned, the thing that's missing from this equation, I would love to see Strength, the Fool, or the World card, because that could give you that chance to just expand. So we'll see if it pops up in the meditation portion, but if not, you could meditate on those cards, because they're going to give you the hope, the energy to kind of push through this. Tarot is a great meditation tool too. If you look at some of these, particularly like the Magician card, it actually is a way that you can pull a connection between earth and heaven. And when I was talking about petrichor, that smell of ozone and the earth, that's really what it is. That's why it's magical. It's sky meeting earth. And so you want to kind of bring some connection to that. So don't be afraid to use the cards to meditate. All right, let's look at love. This is an interesting message here. What I'm seeing here is that there's perhaps someone in your life that isn't coming through. This card shows me someone that's not working hard enough, and they're kind of focused on something else. They're distracted. And you might just feel like if you're constantly pulling the weight of both of you in the relationship, this is where you understand that the balance is off. So give the person a chance to show up the way that you need them. Let them know that you need a little bit more. Let them know that something's not working. And if they still tune you out, we've all been in the room with people like that, that you talk to them and they're like, oh, what? Or they're looking at something else, or they're just saying, and then they talk about themselves. That's a form of tuning out. So if somebody's tuning out or watching something else instead of really being present in the relationship, they're already giving you a nonverbal cue that things aren't where they need to be, right? So that's part of the sort of signs and signals that were coming through with the High Priestess card reversed. If this is you, listen to yourself. Whenever I see that little bird here, it's kind of saying there's an inner voice that's probably going on here that's saying, hey, you've got to fix this. So if you don't feel the love anymore, whether it's a relationship or a partnership at work or something else, or a friendship, it's okay. We outgrow things. Give the person the sort of courtesy of just saying, I need to move on, and release them, and release yourself as well. That contract release is really important. All right, now the fun card, and what this whole thing has been setting up to is actually the Destiny card. So we have a power symbol here. Snakes are not bad when we're looking at spirit animals or signs. It's a sign of power and potential. See the coil there? This is like when we awaken intuitively. Ideally, we should have a Kundalini awakening, which starts from the base of the spine and kind of works its way through all of the chakra systems. Sometimes we awaken in different areas, but the way that this is happening, it's looking like it's setting you up for a proper awakening. Some of you might just be feeling an overwhelming activation here. And if that's the case, then sort of work on the grounding, like I said. Make sure that, again, you're using darker crystals, you're going outside, you're touching the ground, you're meditating with trees, you're putting your hands in the planet, and kind of like again, gardening or doing something where you are on the earth plane. And that will help you so that you can receive this enlightenment, and you can also bring all of the other chakras into a balanced state. It's really important to meditate this particular month and make sure that everything is equal, that all of the chakras are spinning and they're all bright and they're all able to receive. Because if you do that, wow, look at the potential. When I look at the crown chakra and it's completely in a state of light, and we have this snake, which is about power, knowledge, also about being able to spring back from something if there's been something difficult, I feel like you're really set up for success. You've got to work through a couple of things though. And the key thing is, if there's something that's not working, fix it. If there's something that's coming through and you know you need to change it, honor that intuition, and then start the work. Really, you'll take a first step in March and really start to begin the work, and it's going to be great. But you have to show up equally too for the universe to support you right back. Before we get into the next phase, I want to review everything because I know I talked about a lot right here. And then we're going to get into the ever important soul portion of this, SOUL, where we're looking at really how to heal yourself and how to move through some of the challenges that I just talked about. So first, let's do the review, and then we'll talk about that. All right. So really, really important, and we saw that this is coming through in the cards here. The key things this month are to focus on clearing your thoughts, clearing your energy, clearing your space. Cleansing, this is also about not just kind of like moving things aside, but also making sure that you're going through and like smudging and feeling like you're removing or transforming or elevating the energy of the space too. So these work side by side. You can't have one without the other if you really want to be effective. And then this will help you reveal something that you didn't see. And I talked about Four of Cups and we got it, which is a hidden blessing, something that's been there that the universe is literally kind of saying, hey, take a look at, but the person's not looking. And we also saw that here. So for some of you, it could be you, you're distracted and you have to turn your attention to what matters, not the noise, okay? Then once you do that, we have the rainbow opportunity that's coming through. And this is a hidden blessing, or I saw kind of like treasure or some sort of beautiful present or something that you're going to learn and be happy about on the other side, but you have to work through the fear first. Be honest with yourself. Transparency is key. It's the way that you can diffuse the energy of Eight of Swords, and actually most of the sword suit, because it comes with lower frequencies like fear, uncertainty, doubt, etc. Not all of Swords, but a lot of the middle cards do. You're in a good place this month. You know what you need. You know what you want. You're going to be able to successfully navigate relationships. You always can, because you feel things so empathically. Trust that feeling. Trust your heart, if nothing else. I've been talking this month about how all signs, thank you for the unicorn, how all signs really have the connection and ability to open up the heart space. And this is something that I really want to help you with as well. Trust your heart, trust that intuition, and know that this is going to reveal something really, really important and hidden for you. With respect to love, I feel like many of you are in a chance right now, or in a space right now, where there has to be a shift. It's either going to ascend to a higher level, maybe, marriage, maybe partnership, or you're going to part ways. It's really all you can do with Lovers, the Tower, and Justice. There's a decision at hand, yes or no. The decision is yours. Some of you are actually drawn more into self-work right now. So if this person can't support you, or if people around you can't support you, this could mean moving to a new job, moving out of a relationship, putting all of this energy into something else. That's fine if that's what you want. Otherwise, you're going to put a lot of energy into fixing the relationship, because 8 of Pentacles means you probably need to have someone help facilitate that, or there's a decent amount of work together that you want to do. In a partnership, it's not the worst either, though. It could show that there's a work partnership, but just get everything in writing, because with Justice and the Moon, it has to suit you. The contract has to suit you. Work-life balance is key. Listen to your intuition. Something's right in front of you, and you're going to be able to see it if you trust yourself. Moves, changes, shifting. That's a big thing that's happening over the course of March 2020. This is a month where I really don't think you can afford to stagnate. You have to move, or you'll miss an opportunity. Don't overthink. It's a good time to invest in yourself. It's a great time to get started on anything that matters. Get a good lawyer if you're going to do that. Some of you may decide to fight about something that you're passionate about changing or about fixing, and that's fine. And then the Moon card is powerful. This is actually about owning your intuition. And I would say on this one, there's also a gentle nudge to not get involved in other people's business or try to argue, because sometimes with the Moon, you could be forced to pick sides. And if there really is sometimes it's a lose-lose battle. You just have to move forward. Don't get involved in that kind of stuff. It's not worthy of your energy. A lot of energy in the head space this month. So whether you're practical and you want to go back to college, or you're intuitive and you want to develop your ability to connect with the divine, I see that being a great place to put your time and your energy. When we're looking at wealth, remove fear from the equation. One of the ways to do that is through education. That's why we have 8 of Pentacles here. Research, education, learning, knowledge acquisition. Fear only exists in tandem with ignorance. So when you are informed and are no longer sort of in the dark about something, fear can't exist anymore, because it's lower frequency and it can't manipulate you. So that energy will fall away. We also talked about being careful, not sort of walking without looking where you're going. And also, if you're having any problems with vertigo, to talk to a doctor. Make sure also that you have a balanced diet, and know that if your body isn't functioning the way it normally is, particularly for those of you that are experiencing irregular moon cycles, that you talk to a doctor. But also, it's stress elimination is going to be key to that. Are you investing as much as others? Are others investing as much as you in a relationship or a work opportunity? If not, it's time to move on. But do be real with yourself. If you're not interested, also give people the courtesy of saying goodbye. And in doing so, you're going to open up new opportunities. You're going to basically own your power. And that's this whole month. There's chances with love. There's chances with finance. There's chances with intuition, with personal development. All of this is a month of empowerment. You taking the lead. It's hard, right? It's so much easier sometimes to just have someone else tell you what to do. But I feel like on some levels, and it's just giving yourself permission to go there. Like I said, the missing component, if I could go there with you, is the Fool, the World, and Strength. Just knowing that you could do it, and you can, and that's what I see for you. So let's get into the next level, which is, how do we break any of these cycles, or how do we get into that sense of being strong enough? I'm going to look at past, present, and future influences before we get into the meditation. And I really hope you can stick around for the meditation as well, but at least stick around for this, because it's going to give you what you need for that. All right, let me shuffle the cards. I'm going to look at past limitations or blocks. And this is really about self-love, healing, and forgiveness. That's what I've been trying to focus on for all signs in the soul portion this month. So how can you love yourself more? How can you heal through this Forgive yourself and also own the strength, because for you, something that came through was you're stronger than you think, but for some reason you're blocked in seeing the strength. Okay, we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. The Nine of Cups is generally a good card. When it's an upright position, sometimes it's about trying to always see the best in things, sometimes to a fault, not acknowledging that we have to work through some of the lower frequencies and figure out the trigger points. So you can't always gloss things over with a rainbow, even though we're going to work with a rainbow. Sometimes you have to go through the rain. And again, that's this month. And with the card reversed, it means that for some of you, there's this feeling of emotional vulnerability or intensity this month where it just feels like, gosh, there's a lot coming through. I just feel like I need to get this all out. How am I going to deal with it? So if there's something in the past where you feel like it triggers me, or I haven't healed through this, or I keep going back to it, it makes me sad, there's a chance this month to let it go. That's why we saw the Tower and Justice, to step away from that pattern and think, it doesn't bring me joy anymore. It used to, or I thought it could, but when I go to the core of it, there's more tears than laughter. And if there's something like that in your life, let it go. If you're just someone who buries your emotions, as we were taught in like the 20th century a lot, this is a chance for you to just be a little vulnerable. Watch some sappy movie and get it out. However it's going to be: exercise, reading, watching a movie. A movie that does it to me often is like What Dreams May Come. It was that Robin Williams one where he's kind of in that imaginary environment of his wife where it's all painted. But there's, yeah, even if I talk about it, I'll start to cry because it's all about his family that's all died. But it's a great movie. And it just, if you need a good cry, that's one that I would prescribe. I once watched it when I was sick with a cold and I was between jobs and all this, and all I did was cry. But it kind of helped me tap into letting go and realizing what beautiful blessing life is. And I love that one of the main focuses on that movie is the cycle of reincarnation and new beginnings. So why not focus this month on new beginnings? That came to me for a reason. So, all right, let's look at the present opportunities. I really want to focus on what's that Four of Cups. What's up there floating that you're missing? Okay, that there's a higher partnership available to you. And also, we were just talking about the kids and what dreams may come, to get back to what you enjoyed as a kid, or maybe to spend some more time with childhood friends, lost kind of connections, or to get back to your inner child. So the Six of Cups is to kind of be in that space of it's going to be okay. Kids don't hold on to drama and trauma the same way that we do as adults. We hold grudges, we hold pain a lot more than kids. If you ever are in the presence of like a 2 or 3 year old, they'll have a tantrum one minute and then they're loving you the next. They'll say something horribly honest and then they're super sweet. They move through it like a roller coaster and you're just trying to keep up with it. But I do love the fact that they're a live wire, they're a live channel, and they're not letting it kind of pull them down. So be in the playful place of the Six of Cups and think, I can get through it. I can have a tantrum now and then I can be okay in a couple minutes. And I'm going to try and stay in this Six of Cups, not the tantrum. All right, let's look now at where you're headed and what you can really do over March. And for those of you that are watching a little early in February as well, to heal. Time to move on. Allow yourself to move on. Allow yourself to let go. The Ten of Wands, when it's upright, is about kind of that moment of graduation and realization. But when it's reversed, it means that you've been taking on too much. You don't have to heal everybody. This is a tough lesson for me too. Like, I can't help everybody. What I can try to do is help as many people as possible, but there's some people that don't want it or they're not listening. And for you, I think the message this month is whatever it is that you've been trying to hold on to, you won't be able to see what's here until you let it go or until you move through it. But I feel like many of you are at a point of the next step, something different, because the Tower combined with the Ten of Wands, that's definitely moving on and moving up, because this is usually going up a hill. You see a mountain here. There's a higher point. There's a higher vista. So better days await. Once you let it go, it's going to feel really, really good. And you're going to feel much more balanced afterwards. So let's get into the ever important part, which is going to be this healing meditation. And I really want you to be in a place where you can listen to this and pay attention, because we're going to be opening up a lot of energy. I'm gonna try to help you release it as well. So I want you to be present. And if you want to listen to it later, you can watch it on the replay. You can re-listen to this as well, because I feel like, as with any meditation, sometimes it takes a couple of sort of approaches before you understand what you need from it. So listen as much as you need. At this point, everybody that's going to be present, please close your eyes for a second. Actually, just for the duration of this, so close your eyes, I should say, and go into your body for a second. I saw in the chat, I try not to look too much because I have to stay focused, but I saw someone saying that their heart was beating or that there was a feeling that they were uneasy. So what I want you to do at this point is to regulate things a bit. Tune into the physical, then we'll go into the metaphysical. So let's take a deep breath together without any sort of programming. I do want you to sit up tall as you do this and imagine that you're pulling a ribbon of light through the center part of your body, and it's kind of going all the way through the crown chakra. That's all you need to do. Nice deep inhale, pulling that light through your body. Hold it for a second. Don't exhale. Let it really circulate, and think of something that you want to let go of, and then on the exhale, just let it go. In your body, is there any place that you feel pain or discomfort? If yes, then I want you to continue breathing, and with each breath, feel that as you open up your heart and lung area, as you're really focusing on that center part, feel that the energy then is going to go directly to the part of your body that needs a healing, whether it's the neck, the back, the throat, or even just your head if you're feeling a lot of frustration or aggravation, or you can't stop your thoughts. See the light coming into your heart space, and then kind of automatically and gently moving through your body and starting to give you sort of like this energetic massage. Each and every part of your body that needs to be healed can be healed. I'm feeling something also in my spleen chakra. It's like right under my, it's if you were to go to your left, under your left arm. So for some of you, there may be something that's going on with relationships. A lot of times that can be with parents or family. We'll work on that in the meditation as well. All right, so now that you are still, I want you to just focus on feeling that you can handle everything that's coming through. You're going to slow your heartbeat. You're going to slow your breathing. You're just going to be present. And I want you to see yourself looking out at a beautiful emerald green forest, almost like a rainforest, if you will. And as you are starting to tune in, you still have your eyes closed, even in the meditated state. You are listening to the sounds of the forest. The most apparent sound is the gentle tapping of the rain on the leaves. There's so many trees overhead. There's this canopy that's protecting you. But some of the rain is coming through, and you can feel that and you can smell it as well. But you're listening to all the little taps of the rain on each of these little leaves, and you're listening to them as they're dropping down and hitting the forest floor. There's a gentle stream that's right behind you as well. And you get the sense that everything is being gently washed and cleaned, and there's movement. And you find a nice space that's dry near the stream, and you just feel the energy and the clearing and the cleansing that's happening around you. So you're not getting wet, but you do feel the element of water all around you. If you want to experience it, some of you may choose to put one or both of your feet into the stream so that you can be cleared and cleansed along with the forest. As you do that, feel the sensation of that cool water as it goes over your feet, taking away any of the frustration or the heat that might be in your life. Feel the soft earth beneath you as well, the sort of muddy surface of the stream, and feel a connection to the earth. Everything feels very pleasant, and you just feel this sense that you're safe and you're being hugged by all of the energy around you. Green is the color of the heart. So for any of you that are feeling sad, just know that the entire planet's got your back, but particularly this meditation, this forest is here to help you. If you feel like you have been carrying too much, I want you to let it go. You're okay. This is a place where it's okay to be vulnerable. So no one's going to see you crying in the forest. So if you have to let it go, let it go. Just let the tears go, let the breath go, let all that you've been carrying go, and release it into the stream. Let the earth take it away from you. Let your shoulders feel like the load is lighter. Allow your brain to feel that it doesn't have to think through these things anymore. Give it all to the water, and you can just send it through your body to the feet and allow the water to take it as well. Just be present. And as you're doing this, you notice that the rain is still falling, and you're really smelling that smell of ozone and earth and that sweet smell of petrichor that I was talking about, that magical word for what it smells like when it rains. I looked it up earlier too, and it actually has to do with some of the energy of the gods. And I thought it out, and it's really about the fact that sometimes it's lightning, it's the upper atmosphere, it's the lower atmosphere, it's the earth, all of these elements mixing together. So as you are releasing the sense of, I've got too much, I can't hold on to this, I need to let it go. Let it all go. Take a nice deep breath with me, really deep this time, because it matters to kind of push the energy through. Inhale, reclaiming your strength, reclaiming your divine energy, anything that you've been giving to others, bring it back into your body. One last time, give yourself permission to just let it all go. And I want you to feel now that you are clear, you are clean, your mind is open, your body has this sense of being balanced for the first time in maybe days, months, or years. And as you do this, you notice that there's a slight clearing above you. You see the sun peeking through the clouds, and this beautiful golden ray of light coming through the forest, like one of those paintings that you would see. It's just this moment of awe. And as the light comes down, you feel warmth now, warmth and radiance. And it's coming into your crown chakra. It's right on the top of your head. We had talked about that earlier. I want you just to receive a blessing from the divine, from your higher self, and open up to all the things that have wanted and in many cases have needed to come through for you this month. Breathe the energy in, feel it melting through your crown chakra, coming into your third eye, into your throat, to your heart, your stomach, the sexual organs, the root chakra, and all the way to your feet, which are still connected to the stream. And you feel this absolute connection between all the elements, between light, between the water, and you feel like you are an open channel now, finally able to receive. No blocks, no doubts, and no fear involved. In the meditation only, not in real life, I want you to kind of open your eyes and see now that there is a rainbow around you. And you see that the end of the rainbow is within reach. I want you to take a moment to dry your feet. Notice that the rain has stopped, but you still see some drips of rain kind of coming from the leaves that were holding it. So you still have some water nearby, but you're looking now at the mist and the rainbow. I want you to move away from where you were. Let go of the past. And I want you to move towards where you want to be. What for you is at the end of the rainbow? Is it like what we were talking about in the movie? Are you seeing the true version of yourself, which might actually be better than you thought? And instead of being afraid like that little boy was in the movie, maybe you're celebrating the fact that you are stronger, you are wiser, you're more successful, you're more beautiful than you gave yourself credit for. I want you to think about what it is you want to discover at the end of that rainbow. And without ever needing to kind of even see what's in that treasure box at the end, know that it's there. Pick up the box and think, when it's time, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to receive the blessing. Some of you are going to open it up today and it's going to be like Christmas and you'll feel that download. For some of you, you're still doing some work, but I want you to pull that blessing into your heart and know that it's always been within. It's just like the Wizard of Oz, all those things that they were given, the things around their neck, the strength, the intellect, etc. They always had it. You always have this blessing. But I want you to take that treasure, put it into your heart space, let it melt in there. Either own it now or know that it's going to reveal itself over the course of March, and know that you've got this. Whatever changes, whatever sacrifices, whatever difficult conversations might come through, the treasure, the blessing, the realization of who you truly are, so much stronger. I want you to wrap yourself now in the ribbon of light that you are under. I want you to pull the rainbow into your body. So imagine, some of you, it might be nice to kind of pull it around you like a cocoon. Some of you might want to receive it in the crown chakra. Some of you might want each of those colors to align with the colors of the chakra. So red for the first, orange, yellow, blue, green, violet, indigo, I think, or indigo violet. But basically see the beautiful colors of the rainbow aligning to your chakra points or coming through the crown or just wrapped around your body. And I want you to see each of your chakras spinning equally as bright and see these sort of galaxies of light. That's the easiest way to kind of imagine them. You know what our Milky Way looks like. See each of the chakra points with the colors of the rainbow going again from red to the violet or indigo. See all of those colors lined up. And the top chakra actually is even closest to sometimes silver or white. So as all these colors blend together, they're actually going to give you white. So see that at the very, very top as well. And I just want you to feel, I've got this, I am balanced, because we saw a lot of cards of imbalance, Two of Pentacles, the Tower reverse, and the Justice card. You've got this, you've got the energy to move through it. And now as you move through the remainder of the full moon, there's no fear anymore. There's an understanding that something better is on the horizon. Take one last deep breath and allow for this new version of yourself with all these colors that have been balanced and amplified to lock in with your physical body. I want you to feel that you're kind of coming from that energetic state into the physical body as light as a feather, entering through your crown chakra, feeling each and every chakra point open up and lock in place all the way through until your feet also are touching the ground and you feel like I'm back in my body now. Take a nice deep breath with me, gentle, but some movement in the breath. You want to hear it. And then on the exhale, open your eyes and keep that rainbow of light with you. Thank you, by the way, Maria, for helping keep a safe space here while I was doing the meditation. And everyone, I thank you for cooperating as well. We want to keep the energy light, bright in chat. All right. So you guys really have an amazing month ahead. And I feel like the biggest thing to work through is not to hold yourself back and go into that rainbow energy, that rainbow state anytime you need to. And you're going to be okay. I really feel like there's a lot of opportunity too. We didn't talk much about like money or work, but for some of you, there's a lot of development and a lot of movement there. And I feel that once you get some of the distractions of your like people around you, your mental state out, then you're going to be able to focus again. So I see many of you coming back into a place of feeling like I can really focus. I've got this. Okay. Thank you so much for sticking around for this meditation. I'd like to just talk a little bit about how you can connect with me. I get a lot of questions and comments afterwards. So I'm now. Most of what you would probably ask about me can all be answered by going to my website. So it's nicholasashbaugh.com. The link is here in chat. It's also, if you go to my main channel page, it's there. You can Google it. It'll probably be the second thing that pops up. But yeah, all of the information is on my website. I'd love for you also to join me on social media. So on Facebook and YouTube, my handle is Nicholas Ashbaugh. You can also join me as a sustaining supporter on Patreon. And Patreon is a lot like the join button here. That's where you can set up a monthly contribution. If you want to do something that's free that makes a big difference, hit subscribe. It doesn't cost a thing. It lets YouTube know and it lets me know that this is making a difference. Sometimes people get confused between join and subscribe. Subscribe is free and it just says, hey, I like you and I want to get notifications. Hit the bell icon as well so you know when I go live. If you want to join me on Twitter, please do. I don't send too many tweets out. I try to keep them very topical. So whenever I go live, I'll remind you. I usually do it a day before and an hour before, and so you won't forget. Same thing with my Facebook and Instagram. I use stories as a way of reminding you, so it's really effective. And there's even a countdown timer on Instagram. So you can join me on Nicholas_Ashbaugh for Instagram. And finally, if you just want to do a one-time contribution, you can use PayPal. It's paypal.me/NicholasAshbaugh. And for booking appointments, that's on my website as well, nicholasashbaugh.com. You can just go to the main menu, click on schedule appointment. All right. I just want to say thanks for everybody. I saw that we had some new channel members, a lot of stickers and super chats. I'm going to call you out in a comment afterwards. I really appreciate the community and the love and light that I see when I show up early, the help of my moderators as well. Thank you, Ryan, and thank you, Maria, and everybody here that's been a part of this journey. So take care of yourselves. Have an amazing March. And remember that you have a lot of power, a lot of beautiful energy that wants to come through. Own that, believe in yourself, and know that part of this journey is going to be the release and that feeling like, oh, finally I can breathe. Thank you for the new members and for all the super chats. Again, I appreciate you guys. Much love and light. I will be back again tomorrow for Leo. And if you want to sort of see the entire schedule of everything, take a look at my website. It's just nicholasashbaugh.com/live. There's also a button at the top that shows the live forecast, so you can look at it there as well. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you all very soon. Have a great March as well.